everyone, I hope you're all well. Today I wanted to share some tips specifically for first year students or people who are about to go to university, because I have just finished my first year, so I wanted to share a few things that I've learned along the way and that may hopefully be helpful to you too. So just to prove that I have some kind of grounds to stand on here, I just got my results back for first year and I finished with a high 2-1, so hopefully my advice is like credible in a way, like I've done these things and come out with an okay grade, if that makes sense. So just kind of wanted to clarify that before we get into it. And also, with the current state of the world, I know there is the chance that some unis will be online for the first few weeks and bits like that, so obviously my experience is going to be slightly different to that, but hopefully these tips will still be helpful to you. So let's just get into it. Tip number 1 is don't be afraid to have fun. And this may sound a bit weird because I'm sure most of you are really looking forward to things like Freshers Week and going out a lot, but what I mean is that when you do start getting a fair bit of work, don't be afraid to still do things that you enjoy and to kind of have a good work-life balance. And it can be quite difficult, as I say, when you are quite heavy on deadlines and things like that, but first year is going to be your most kind of a lightweight year in terms of workload and like where you'll have the most time to do fun things, so really make the most of it while you can, because along with that, in most unis, I'm saying most, I don't know about all, first year doesn't actually count towards your final grade at the end of university. And that doesn't mean don't try, but it does mean that you can sort of give yourself a bit more time to do activities that you enjoy, and yeah, just spend a bit more time getting to know people and doing fun things, whether that's joining societies or just making time for yourself and your own hobbies. Don't be afraid to have fun. Tip number 2 is to work with new people, and I guess this one kind of depends on what sort of degree that you've chosen to do, but in my case I did creative advertising and the majority of our work was group based. But yeah, it can be very easy once you've sort of formed your friendship groups to just go with the same people every time, but my advice would be to try and work with new people. If you're not put like in your own groups by lecturers and you get to choose, every now and then try and pick someone that you've not worked with before, because you never know, this may be someone that you actually work really well with and you produce some of your best work with, and you wouldn't have known that if you just stuck with your usual friendship group and didn't sort of do that kind of thing, if that makes any sense. And I think especially in the first few weeks when people haven't really formed like deep friendships, it's a lot easier to sort of work with new people, so definitely take advantage of that time and try and work with as many people on your course as you can, because these are the people that you're going to be with for 3 years, so you kind of want to get to know early on who you work well with and who you don't. Tip number 3 is to join a society. This is one that I didn't do that I wish I did do. And I think joining a society is just a really nice way to make a new group of friends, because if you're not joining societies, the main people that you're really going to know from uni is obviously the people on your course, and it is nice to have different friendship groups. The sun has just completely disappeared. And I think joining a society is a great way to make new friends, because generally if you're not in a society or part of a different group, the main people that you're going to be good friends with is just the people on your course, and it can be nice to get to know people who share similar interests to you that isn't course related. So as I say, I do advertising, but that doesn't mean the only thing I like is advertising, so I guess it was sort of a society, but it's kind of work too. I joined the social media team at the university, which meant that I could do the things I like, which is obviously things like blogging and YouTube while at uni, which meant I've met a lot of people who have similar interests to me. So yeah, there's literally a society for everyone. There are so many different ones, and if there isn't any that you like, you can set up your own too at uni. But yeah, I really think joining a society is a really nice way to make more friends, and it's just, I think, nice to sort of have different friendship groups, because you know, sometimes you want to see a different face every now and then. My next tip would be to make the most of Freshers Week. I don't mean go out every single night, unless you want to, of course. I just mean it in the sense that when it's Freshers Week, everyone else who's a first year is in the exact same boat as you, where most of them won't know anyone. I came to uni with no one from my old school, so I literally didn't know a soul. So it's a good chance to get to know new people, because as I say, everyone is in that same boat where they don't know anyone and they want to make friends. So sort of put yourself out there. I know it can be quite daunting and is a lot easier said than done, but even if it's just with your flatmates that you're living with, make sure you make that effort to get to know them and chat to them, because you're going to find some of your friends for life when you are at uni. That's basically a fact. So yeah, get in there early, try and get to know as many people as you can during Freshers Week, and it'll also make the week when you actually start all your lectures a little bit easier as well, because at least you'll have some familiar faces. And if for some reason your course isn't doing like Freshers Week things before actual teaching starts, most places and most courses will set up group chats, and try and find the one for your course and join it, or just the general one for your accommodation and things like that, and get to know people that way even before you come to uni. So that way when you do arrive and your parents have gone home and you're left by yourself, there's a few other people that you could potentially meet up with, get a coffee with, and sort of get to know a bit better, so you don't feel so lonely when you first come to uni. My final tip actually applies to before you come to uni, and that is to plan. And I know that is a very vague final statement, but just try and plan things. So for example, when you're planning what to actually pack for uni, the wardrobes at uni aren't massive, so you're not going to be able to take every single item of clothing that you own. So try and think practically and pick things that you get a lot of wear out of. If there's something in your wardrobe that you haven't worn for 6 months, odds are you're not going to wear it when you're at uni, so don't bother packing it. Just things like that. And also, if you're able to travel home at times, try and pack, like, so for example, you're going to uni in September, that would be packing for kind of autumn winter clothes, and then don't take really any summer clothes, and you can just do a little swap one weekend where you take all your winter clothes back and bring back summer clothes, if that makes sense, because otherwise your little like room is going to get very full with lots of clothes that you're not going to be wearing. And alongside that, try and start doing things such as budgeting. I know that can be a very big task. It was something that I found quite difficult when I first got to uni because I hadn't done it before. So I think if you can, for the first, like for a couple of months maybe before you get to uni, just try and at least plan how you want to budget. So work out how much loan you're going to get, how much your rent is, roughly how much you think you're going to get to spend on food, and that way you can work out what you have left to spend on things like nights out and anything else in between, because your loan can disappear very, very quickly if you don't plan how much you should be spending a week. So please learn from me and try and plan your money as much as you can. So those were my 5 tips. I hope that they were helpful to you. If they were, let me know down below which one you found helpful, and if you have any of your own advice, if you're a slightly older student and you've been here before, pop it down below in the comments to help other people out. And I have a lot of other uni related videos on my channel, so make sure you check those out as well if you're looking for more uni related content, and subscribe if you're new if you want to, and I will see you very soon with another video.